guys, it's Jessii Vee, and today we're doing another episode of the It's Near You series. We are currently on South Carolina. Like I said, we're not going in order anymore. I've kind of just chosen randomly so everyone gets an equal chance to like maybe have where they live in the video. But before we get started, obviously I have a new backdrop behind me. It's like a magical forest with butterflies everywhere. I love it. It looks so enchanted. I want to live here. So that means I'll be announcing the winner of last month's backdrop, and that person is Quillo. I hope I'm saying that right, but congratulations and thank you to every single person who entered. And if you would like to enter to win this month's backdrop, all you have to do is follow my other two Instagram accounts that I have. I have one for my merch, it's called Jessii Vee merch, and I have one for my jewelry, it's called the Whimsy Wonders. If you follow both of those accounts, you are entered to win. There's nothing else you have to do, that's it. And you also obviously have to be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, and turn on your notification bell. It's crazy because if I go to my analytics on YouTube, it says that 60% of people who watch me are not subscribed. Subscribe! If you want good enchanted magical luck this month, subscribe, okay? Okay, let's jump right into it and talk about some very creepy urban legends and haunted places in South Carolina. The first thing we're gonna be talking about is called the legend of Julia Lagar. And this is actually one of the creepiest stories that I've ever read in my life. In the mid-1800s, a woman named Julia Lagar came to visit family. And it is said that she suddenly became very ill with a fever, and she actually slipped into a coma. Her family called the doctor pronounced her dead. Much to the dismay and sorrow of her family, they put her body into the family mausoleum. And a mausoleum is basically this freestanding building that holds multiple people after they pass away instead of just one. It's kind of like a tomb in some way. Well, after they placed Julia to rest in there, life went on, and 15 years later they had to reopen the mausoleum to place another family member in there that had passed away. But when they opened the door to the mausoleum, they found that Julia's skeleton was right at the door instead of where they had laid her to rest. So it seemed like she had never actually been dead at all. But instead she was in a coma so deep that her heart rate was so faint that the doctor actually thought she had passed away when she hadn't. And unfortunately this happened to people a lot back in the day because medical care was not the same as it is today. So people were often buried and put in tombs when they weren't actually dead. So they put the girl's remains back where they were supposed to be and sealed and locked the door once again. But this is not where the story ends, guys. When the family returned the next day, the door to the mausoleum was open. And every time they closed it and went back the next day, it still was open. Even though they locked it, it would still open again. They say that now there is no door, and her spirit can rest because she knows that no one else will be locked inside the mausoleum. So it was like her spirit never wanted the door to be closed again because of what happened to her. It's so sad. And people always just say they get this horrible sad feeling anytime they go there to visit where she was buried. Okay, this next urban legend is called the Third-Eyed Man. Under the University of South Carolina, there are many steam tunnels, which is where the Third-Eye Man is said to be lurking. The first sighting of this monster was in 1949. This student named Nicholas said that him and his friends saw this silver-looking man entering the tunnels one night. They said he looked very strange and literally looked silver. They reported it and no one was able to find out who this man was. Then in April of 1950, a police officer actually encountered this silver man. The officer said he saw this silver man crouched in a corner eating a chicken. And when the officer shone the flashlight at the man, he turned his head and the officer saw that he had 3 eyes, 2 here and 1 on his forehead. So the police officer called for backup, but by the time everyone got there, the man was gone. He had run further into the tunnels and no one was able to find him. And the next time this third-eyed man was seen was in the 60s. Now, like I said, there are catacombs or tunnels beneath the university, and a group of friends thought it would be fun to explore them one evening. But when they went around one of the corners, they saw this crippled man standing there. He looked silver in color, and he swung at the boys with a pipe. Now, only one of the guys actually suffered any injuries, but it was only like minor bruising and cuts. But they all told the police officers that this man had a third eye. Since then, the entrance to the tunnels have been sealed, and so far there have been no other reported sightings of the third-eyed man. And the University of South Carolina says that there's nothing down there, and they want the students to know that no one's allowed to trespass through the tunnels. So this is where the next strange story comes in. It's called the Three-Eyed three-eyed doll. Back in the 90s, a girl who was attending the university found a doll lying face down on the school grounds. It was covered in mud and leaves and it was barely even visible. She said she wouldn't even have seen the doll if she was in a hurry. When she turned the doll over, she was shocked to see three eyes staring back at her and wondered who would ever want such a creepy doll. Was it dropped by a child? Was it created as a prank by one of the students? Was it like a weird project somebody was doing? She brought it back to her dorm to show her roommates, and they told her it must have been made to honor the Silver Man in the tunnels. Now, this girl had never heard of the Silver Man with three eyes before, so all of her friends told her these stories. And because she heard those things, she decided to keep the doll displayed in her dorm from that day forward. And she felt this strange connection to this three-eyed man that she had never met before. And it's still a mystery to her where the doll had originally come from and why it was made with three eyes, especially on a campus known for such a terrifying legend. Comment down below if you would keep a three-eyed doll if you found it. I probably would. Next, we have Crybaby Bridge. Now, there's actually a few bridges in the States with this same name, and I'm pretty sure I've briefly talked about one before, but the one I will discuss is the one in Anderson, South Carolina, and this particular bridge has quite a history. What's strange is that it was originally built in Virginia in 1919, and then in 1952 it was moved to South Carolina. Now, there are a few different ways that the creepy story goes, but the most popular one is that there was a horrible accident one night. A mother lost her baby to the flow of the river, and it is said that if you go on this bridge late at night, you can hear the crying of a baby, and if you are lucky, you may even see the mother walking up and down the bridge, searching for the child she lost so long ago. So the story is actually really heartbreaking, and it would definitely be very eerie to see a ghostly crying mother walking back and forth on the bridge. No thank you. The next urban legend is called the Lizard Man, and this is such a bizarre legend. Described as being taller than the average man, the Lizard Man is said to be muscular, covered with dark hair and scaly lizard-like skin on its face, and it's said that he has 3 fingers on his hands and his toes. Now, they say this beast is extremely strong, so much so it can lift a car, it can throw a car, it can destroy very, very large things. And there have been quite a few reported sightings of this creature around South Carolina. The first sighting was in 1988. This man was walking through a field and he saw this creature start to run towards him. He said it had these red glowing eyes, it was super fast, so the man ran back to his car as fast as he could. This creature jumped on the roof of his car, causing this major indent. So he had to start his car super fast and drove away. The creature fell off. But that's not the only account of this creature attacking someone in their car. There have been so many accounts, and this creature is always described in the same way. There have also been times where people have gone out to the parking lot and their car has been like chewed up by something. So that's so bizarre. And the last place I want to talk about is a cemetery called Oakwood Cemetery, and it's also called Hell's Gate. This cemetery is known as the most haunted place in South Carolina. It is said that you will have phone problems all during the day that you're there. Your phone battery will drain, you'll have a busy signal if someone calls you, and they say that if you go there at night, you'll see so many orbs everywhere. The cemetery is always misty after the sun goes down, and so many people have reported hearing the laughter of children. Now, there's also a warning on this website saying to never go there alone, and not because of ghosts, but because a lot of sketchy people go there to vandalize and to cause trouble, so you never want to be there without someone else with you. Anyways, guys, there are a whole bunch of other places in South Carolina that are haunted and are strange, so comment down below if there are any really good ones that I missed, and if you want me to continue this It's Near You series, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!